Hello YouTube, it is Damien. It is DAMMO Does England. It is Season 7 of DAMMO Does England, Season 1 here at Brighton. And today we have our first game in the Premier League as Brighton manager against Everton away at Goodison Park. We have been super busy in the transfers. It has taken us 2 streams to get through all the scouting. And we've even still got more scouting going on even though the transfer's finished to find the right players. In the end, we did panic buy on the final day of the transfer window to buy in a backup right back. But apart from that, I'm really happy with what the squad looks like. Without further ado, though, let's get into the transfers. But first things first, let's have a look at the season preview, just to give you a taste of what everybody reckons. They reckon we'll finish 13th. Manzo's apparently the best right back in the league. Love to see it. Pellegri's there too. Love to see it as well. A lot of Liverpool players fleeted out there as well. New managers, obviously us at Brighton. Pellegri is at Bournemouth there as well. And let's go in and see what they reckon. They reckon we're going to play 4-4-2. I'm going to let you know right now, there's been a tactical change in our thinking process, in our thought process here at Brighton, and you're going to see a very different tactical style than what you've seen in the save so far from me. A tactical style that you would have seen at Bright Lights up until we changed to our counter-pressing 4-4-2, which has obviously brought us Premier League titles in a Bright Light save, and obviously Arsenal and at Bournemouth. However, the 4-4-2 has been loaded. They will train it, and you will maybe see the 4-4-2 throughout the rest of the season. Anyway, transfers. Let's get into it. Off we go. In the end, though, we have made a lot of signings. A lot of these frees, apart from Insigne, yes, that is Insigne there, are our youth development officer going a little bit crazy. First things first, let's go on the outs. And on the outs, we brought in $32 million worth of dollars. Colin Castells was a keeper here, just horrible. Never really been good on any FM that I've ever seen. So Colin's gone out to Roma. Glenn Kamara's on loan, defensive midfield. I don't really use him. He's gone out. David probably could have done a role for us at the club, but really want to get his wage out. So we got $5 million for him. Lesra was on loan. Once again, big wage. Wanted to get him out. Have got him out. Not really at the level. Roland is the same. Don't really use a defensive midfielder. And then the rest are all just kind of cheapies, which all make up the $32 million profit that we have made. In the end, though, we have made some signings. These are all the signings that I've made. And we are going to start with Insigne. Look, anytime you can get a player on a free from Liverpool, who are the most reputable club in FM at the moment in the save, a side that have won the last 3 out of the last 4 Premier League titles, only being beaten by our Bournemouth side, a side that made 101, got 101 points last season and lost the title. A Liverpool side where he has performed well. Even last season, when he only played 4 times in Insigne, still got 3 assists at a 7.43, is still going to be quite the goods. And in our new tactical system, which is a 4-2-3-1, he's going to play inside forward on support and still got quite a bit about him. Technically brilliant, and has had a pretty good pre-season, to be fair to him as well. In pre-season has looked pretty good, especially in the last pre-season game. I don't know why, but the bottom of my nose has got really itchy of late, and that is really, really strange. Next in, though, I went for some experience at the back. Mamadou Sakho. That is correct. 475k, I don't think you can go wrong. Look, the guy's got great headering ability, still got great marking, great on the ball, good tackling, great determination, leadership. Look, we have a very young back four, or we have a very young, centre-back partnership. We got a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old, we got an 18-year-old, and then we needed an experienced head. Sakho ticks the box. Yes, his pace ain't the greatest, but look, in games that we need to see out, we need an experienced head to go out there and lead at centre back late on. He would come on the bench. He'd come off the bench. Mamadou Sakho's going to go out there and start a few games this season, big games too, where you need a bit of a leader. The guy's very consistent in what he does. Played quite well at Moscow the last couple of seasons. For 475k, look, I don't think there's ever a bad signing for 475k if they're going to play for you. And there we are. Orlando Nino. The story behind Orlando is that he plays central mid with Carlos. Everybody remembers Carlos from Bournemouth. I looked at the Colombian squad because I was looking at Carlos, and I saw Orlando playing next to him. I said, Orlando's a youngster. It's not a bad wonder kid. 675k release fee. I honestly thought that he wasn't going to get a work permit. Guess what? He definitely did, and he will be on the bench for us this season. Going to get him to learn his trade as a wonder kid. Get in, play some games off the bench, start a few here and there, get him to really grow how Carlos has grown for us at Bournemouth, and see how he can do. He's got great passing ability, great first touch, great determination, decision-making. Physically is pretty good. I really like that he's a big boy in the middle of the park. He's very natural as a central midfielder on attack. A bit like Adriano Ancini that we had at Bournemouth as well. I really think the guy is going to be quite good at what he can do. Petro Regular is the guy that we panic bought in a right back that was needed as a backup. Story behind it is we had a right back accepted. Our youth development officer said, oh, I'll do the negotiations because he's got to be a youth team. I'm like, no, he's not. Your regular comes in there. He's got a decent amount of pace. He's okay. Look, he's internationally capped. On transfer deadline day, we didn't have a scout report in. We just took a punt. In the end, it's not the worst. And if he actually grows into 3 stars, he would actually be a decent backup for us. Marius is the one that I'm really excited for. 4.6 mil. The remaining international reminds me a lot of Haller at Sunderland in the bright light save. Has got pace to burn people, work rate, decent flair, but his crossing ability as a winger is going to be exceptional. Bombing on down that right-hand side. Get him moving forward. I'm actually going to get him to start knocking the ball past his, trying to get forward whenever possible and then starting to knock the ball past his opponent. Really see what he can do. We are currently training him in here to play as a winger back there because we do need to play 4-4-2. I really want him to start. Anyway, Wilson Carvalho is going to be our second centre-back for the season, and you can see why. This is a guy that was at Boca who beat us in the Club World Cup last season. Great headering, great marking, great tackling. Or the tackling, not so much, but the headering and the marking. 189 centimetres. Massive, massive body. Great jumping reach. Great agility. Great pace. Really do love it. Concentration there as well. Really, really happy with Wilson Carvalho and really, really reckon that he's going to be quite the player. We have 29 mil now, paid 8 mil. We are going to make an insane amount of profit if we ever did have to sell him. The plan is to never sell him, and hopefully it will lead us to a Premier League title. Maybe not this season, obviously, but probably in about 3-4 seasons' time. David Hanco, we needed a backup. We needed a left back that would be good, but also not be upset if we give Pippa. It is Pepper, but or Piper, but obviously in Australian we call Piper Pippa as a nickname. So Pippa. To give Pippa some game time. The guy's really good at bombing on, though. See what he can do. He is not the worst player. And look, David, solid defensively, solid at keeping the ball, solid at bombing on, matches a 4-4-2, but also matches a 4-2-3-1. They're the top name. A name that if you've been around the channel for a while, or around the stream, we are currently live, links in the description below, Rodrigo Marquez, who scored the best goal in FM history for us, and was at Sunderland, and had a good time at Sunderland, was growing great before he broke his leg and we never got to use him again. Rodrigo Marquez, though, look how good he is. He's already on a good ability with leading potential. That 4-star leading potential is important. You know, I think as a complete forward, he is magnificent. He will miss today's game because he's currently on international duty with Argentina's under 23s. You know, great dribbling, great finishing, great first touch, headering, long shots. You know, great penalty taker as well. Decent composure, great pace to run off the shoulder. I think the guy is just a great player in general. Can bring others in the into games. And can also fashion chances out for himself. Is a player that we have spent a lot of money on, but I feel like if we could build a team around Berry at the back and Marquez up front, we're going to have quite a squad, and that is exactly what we've done. So if we do go into the tactics here today, it is going to be Matt Ryan in goals in a 4-2-3-1 with Smith, Berry, Carvajal, Hanco will start, Malumbi and McKinney. These two are very important in us actually playing 4-2-3-1. When we came to the club, we naturally had a lot of centre attacking mids. We actually had a lot of wingers that could play up a line. We naturally had 2 ball-winning midfielders that can win a ball. And these two are important because they're 2 natural midfielders that love to win the ball back high or win the ball back in the middle of the park. If we had like more deeper line playmakers, I wouldn't play this season because technically we're probably not the best. But we have a dogged midfield that can win the ball back, and I'm pretty happy with that. Marius would play. Mkhitaryan, I think, is going to be our best central attacking midfielder. Insigne, Marquez would be your normal starting 11 with that being on the bench. You know, Sacco, Carlos here. Carlos, a youngster that's 18. That looks pretty good. Just come back from international duty. Luca Piper or Pippa. Or Pipper, as we're going to eventually call him. Obviously, another 17-year-old. You got Dino, who's young. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a very good backup option. 191 centimetres, could throw him up there. Bernard, though, still looks pretty good. If we didn't make the signing, by the way, Bernard would start for us. Still looks pretty good. Still think Insigne slightly better. Rossi is a backup striker. He'll probably start our game today. Looks really good as well. You know, we've still got a couple of youngsters like Johnson. You know, Tom Davies doesn't make the bench, is really good. Dwyer is another option on the right, is really good, doesn't make the bench. And I'm pretty happy with how the squad looks. In terms of the systems, a very positive 4-2-3-1 playing out, looking us to keep the ball. We have natural centre defensive midfielders that are really good at playing ball-playing defenders. We got central defensive. We got more central defensive centre-backs that are really good as ball-playing centre-backs. We got good central midfielders that are very defensively minded. And we got wingers that love to get on, get up the field, and really impact the game. I feel like this helps us. In terms of overlapping, I don't mind it. We can overlap as well. Why not? Counter press, distribute quickly, take shorter kicking, play to our centre backs, much higher line, still looking to press, and we still have the 4-4-2 loaded just in here. But look, we have Everton in our first game. If you think the signings are pretty good, let me know in the comments below. If you're in the Twitch chat, and if this is the first time you've seen the signings, we've gone through them a few times, let me know what you think of the signings. But we have got Everton today in the first game. The board wants us to finish, don't get relegated. I think that is the goal. First season in, don't get relegated, make the board happy, Maybe try and push for a mid-table finish if we start well enough in the league, and off we go. This game against Everton's huge. City have already won, but we're not looking towards the top of the title. You know, we're not going to be fighting for the title this season. In terms of captains, I left Tommy Smith as captain. Look, to be honest, I wanted to make Barry captain, Matt Ryan vice captain. Smith's probably going to go out the door in a year when we can actually afford a better right back. We've spent a lot of the budget, and there's not a right back that's going to be quality to bring in for 8 mil. So we've decided to keep Tommy Smith as a leader, but we are going to go with that. Johnson, though, because of Marquez not being here, he's going to go to the bench. Don't mind the way the youngster looks, by the way. So he's going to come in for Marquez, and that's going to allow Rossi to play up as a complete forward on attack. And let's go Ryan Smith, Berry, Carvajal, Henko, Mulumbi, McKinney, there we are, Marius, Mkhitaryan, Insigne, and Rossi. I think we're going to call him Mickey and Mully in the middle of the park as the two nicknames we're going to go for. Or we could call him their first name in Weston and Jason. But in the end, off we go. Like we done with Mitroy. I love the name Mitroy, but Marius rings off the tongue quite nicely. Going to play possession football away at Goodison. In pre-season, we looked good. We did draw to Boreham Wood, but it was our reserve boys, and we had like 35 shots. Marino just joined there from Bournemouth, obviously on loan. I would love to pick this guy up. Wasn't interested in coming to us on loan. I think if Marino ever gets released on a free in the future, would bring him in, even if at an older age. He made big goals for us at Bournemouth as a backup player, so I wouldn't mind him playing there. But our first pre-season game, they're going to line up 4-3-3. Perrin's obviously a decent player. Everton's a side that we kind of need to keep an eye on, because we would be managing them in about... If we're managing them in about 10, 12 years' time, we're doing really well in the save. Anyway, team talk there. We owe Everton on what happened. I have good faith. I wasn't here. I wasn't in charge for that, but we all know it works well. We are always going to go press as always and still do what we do. Even in the 4-2-3-1, this sort of seems to work really well at winning the ball back. Be interested to see how we play here at Goodison. It's a special day. Can't wait to get started. I'd rather talk about the players that are going to start. Dryer's not really going to be part of the first team or the bench, but we'll play backup games. And off we go. Rossi, Mulumbi, Carvajal. It is us in the yellow. It is Everton in the blue. Score predictions in the chat. Let me know what you reckon is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls in the chat. I'm just looking for a solid start and for us to go out there and really try and keep the ball. 41% possession is not what I want to see, but if we can keep it even at home and then away from home and then at home actually keep more of the ball, I'll be happy. Anyway, it really allows for our creative players to be quite creative in this system. 25 minutes played. It is still nil here. I would take an away draw. If we can be solid away from home and at home pick up a lot of points, we are going to stay in the league, and I think that's the goal. Anyway, at the moment, Barry's picked up a booking. That is fine. My nose is really itchy, and I don't know why. 47 minutes played, 0-0. Pretty happy how we've kept the ball, knocked it around. I'm happy with the performance so far. We go to the analysis screen. We go in and go into, not action zones, it's team zone or analysis there and team analysis. In terms of passes, if we select and we only want Brighton, as you can see, a lot of passes completed in that first half, which is what we want to see. And if we got rid of passes there, we actually go into the shape. We always do this with a new system. Average positions there. We obviously want to see Brighton's average position without the ball. Very, very solid. The midfield is tucked in a little bit there. Maybe a little bit wide. Would love to see the wingers tucked in a little bit more, but that's okay. And then with the ball, very high, good high line. Players in the channels, don't mind that at all. We'll start the second half and off we go. Barrios there. If we can get creative, we can fathom ourselves a chance. It wouldn't be too bad. This Brighton side struggled to score goals last year. Didn't score the least amount of goals last season, but had a decent defence. Anyway, our first real highlight. Henko frozen, Insigne inside the Mkhitaryan. Got a very good amount of experience. Ball in. Marius, the chance. Perrin, great save. Marius Mitroy, his first chance in a competitive game for Brighton, has found Perrin's mitts. Unfortunately, it's a good save from the keeper from Everton. Insigne will swing that one in. Carvajal doesn't rise. Berry, though. Weston. Mkhitaryan. Weston again. Is it going to be another highlight or is it going to peter out? Mkhitaryan wins the ball back. Smith can keep it now. Well done, Tom. And that'll be the highlight. We've been the better side here. I've been really happy with how we've gone out and played. Hopefully, this results in points this season and not us losing games late or draws where we don't deserve the draw. It's a corner, and it's Lingard, and corners do worry me. Falls to Mason Holgate, who blasts high and wide, and not at all handsome. We'll take that, though. 68 minutes played, and still looking not too bad here, away from home in our first game in the Premier League, with, obviously, Brighton. Weston McKennie is not having the best of it. Actually, because we're on top, Got to go a little bit more adventurous. Orlando Nino's going to make his debut. Get up there as an attacking midfielder, my boy. Impact the game up there. Let's see what you can do. In terms of that, I'm going to make that as our first change, and there we are. At the back, playing quite well. 80 minutes played, 81, 82. It's a highlights. Lingard, his ball there, goes back post, header. Matty Ryan, what a save, and the block, the boot. It was a free kick. Marina was offside. Matt Ryan with a great save there. Hoping he's going to have a good year. And with 83 minutes played, I'm actually going to get Ben Johnson on, the youngster. I'm going to keep a lot of faith in the youngster. 17 years old, youth prospects, got a lot of potential. Go out there, my son. Break a line, see if he can create us a chance. Off we go. 85th minute, corner, Insigne, headed away from Memphane. Mkhitaryan, though, on it. Well done, Mika. Good ball out there to Insigne. Can wheel around and get across. His ball in. Marius doesn't win. Ramsden heads away. And Yellow's ball, Insigne. We don't keep it. Lingard now. It's a chance for Everton to break here. Still with Jesse Lingard running in between the lines. Midfield caught out. They're through one line. Handed away though. Might fall to Mkhitaryan. It does. He now looks channeled. Johnson's quick enough to press here on Holgate. Force him back we do. Who's going to win this ball from Perrin if he goes long? I think he's going to go quite short here. Holgate there. There we are. Mason with it. He goes long. A mistake from Berry. Marino's really good in this situation. Marino, in the end, puts it wide. George Berry, we don't want to see that from you. There we go. Not on licked in the game. It's a highlight. It's a free kick. It's Jesse Lingard. Don't you dare do it. Apparently, we're looking into VAR. And it's been ruled out for an offside. Wow. Did he even need to touch it? Ryan came for it. Didn't get there. They're all off. It was going in. We've been saved because Marquinhos wanted to score. And there we go. Look, it looks like a draw away from home. First up. I'm going to make a change. I'm just going to get Saka in there for Berry. Just like for like. Just make a bit of time-wasting change. I would love a goal right now. And Insigne back post. Johnson doesn't win. Malumbi got to get there. He won't. Full time away at Everton. I tell you what, we kept the ball. We created chances. And it wasn't the worst performance from that Brighton side. If that's how we're going to be, we're quite solid. They're only threatening us from set pieces. That's what's going to happen for most of the season away from home. And at home, we can pick up points. That is not a bad start to the Premier League. We're only here to stay up in our first season. Build upon that. I'm pretty happy with how that first game of the season has gone there at Brighton as Brighton manager. In the end, a lot more positives than negatives to take out of that. Negatively, maybe we weren't the best dealing with an aerial ball from set pieces, but set pieces are what they are in Football Manager. That will come. Going forward, though, couple of chances. Marius had a big one. Would have been nice for him to score. But away from home, if we can stay solid and then pick up points at home, we'll be fine in terms of staying in the Premier League. From DAMMO DOES England, Season 7, Season 1 here in Brighton. That's the end of the episode. Go give the episode a like. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Links are in the description below. We are currently live on Twitch. Why would you want to come and watch the madness live? Thank you, YouTube. And I'll see you for, episode 70 now? We're getting quickly to 100. Episode 70 of YouTube of DAMMO DOES England next time, which will be another important league game in our first season as Brighton manager in the Premier League.